Hello, everyone. In 30 seconds, it'll be 12 noon, but I wanted to get myself up on board and with you. So, welcome to a really beautiful fall day here in Pittsburgh. You know, it's uncanny that, and so true, that for us to grow in our lives, for us to adapt, for us to reach and stretch, it sometimes has to be uh, at the effect of being hurt, having pain, having changes we didn't quite expect. So today's lesson, I offer you some text that's very beautiful, hopefully moving your heart. And there's a lot of practical information that the teachers are offering. So the title of the page, the lesson for today was about transitions, the threshold of transitions. And that's what they are. When we're called, when we're called upon, we take action, but maybe not as fruitful as we'd like, in a pathway we would like, because sometimes we're at the effect of being startled. And the pathway for spiritual growth and development, and that's what this message is about. That's what our page is about. This is the sacred journey of life, spiritual center, and healing order. So the commitment is that you stay attuned to and on your sacred journey of life. Each one of them are unique, and that you have access to resources, ideas, thoughts to support you in that pathway, and that we're available for healing. And that hopefully, my intention always is to include all of that in every message that we deliver. Spiritual development. Spiritual development is an evolution. It's the evolution of your human consciousness as a spiritual being, as a spiritual being. And that means the program includes accepting emotions and understanding that they really are guiding and leading your life, expanding your intuition. So it's accessing your inner gifts and your innate wisdom, and accessing or allowing in, surrendering to the wisdom of the magnificent one, the divine, when you bring yourself to stillness, opening of your heart, opening of your heart, looking into those corners of your life, of your world, where you can actually bring more love into the world and into your life. And there's always from back here the perspective of the stairway to the soul, the stairway for you of those steps to expanding your consciousness, diminishing the access your unconscious has on delivering you to the world. And that's really where we're going to go today. So we want to practice enlightenment. And that's what we do when we deliver these messages. Or you attend things like the mini retreat. I actually have one starting again tonight, and I'll let you know how that goes. And inside of all of that, the difference it makes on the planet when you uplift yourself, when you uplift humanity because you uplift yourself, and the difference it makes in the world as we prepare for the coming of Christ consciousness here on this plane. The opening prayer. Spirit, cover me. Spirit, fill me. Spirit, walk with me through the darkness, through the cold, through the places my soul trembles to go. When all around me is in constant change, be the truth I am tethered to. When my faith falters, please give me the strength to trust. When I want to give up and lay down, please lift me up. In this world of illusions and distractions, in this world of tests and trials, I pray to you now. Be my guide, be my light, help me through. Now, the initial text is coming from a book by John O'Donohue I've been studying called To Bless the Space Between Us. To change is one of the great dreams of every heart. To change the limitations, the sameness, the banality, or the pain. So often we look back on patterns of behavior, the kind of decisions we make repeatedly, and that have failed to serve us well. And we aim for a new and more successful path or way of being. But change is difficult for us. So often we opt to continue the old pattern rather than risking the danger of difference. We are also often surprised by change that seems to arrive out of nowhere. We find ourselves crossing some new threshold we had never anticipated. Like spring, secretly at work. Secretly at work within the heart of winter. Below the surface of our lives, huge changes are in fermentation. We never suspect a thing. Then, when the grip of some long enduring winter mentality begins to loosen, we find ourselves vulnerable to a flourish of possibility, and we are suddenly negotiating the challenge of a threshold. At any time, you can ask yourself, at which threshold am I now standing? At this time in my life, what am I leaving? Where am I about to enter? What is preventing me from crossing my next threshold? What gift would enable me to do it? A threshold is not a simple boundary. It is a frontier that divides two different territories, rhythms, and atmospheres. Indeed, it is a lovely testimony to the fullness and integrity of an experience or a stage of life that intensifies toward the end into a real frontier that cannot be crossed without the heart being passionately engaged and woken up. At this threshold, a great complexity of emotion comes alive: confusion, fear, excitement, sadness, hope. This is one of the reasons such vital crossings were always clothed in ritual. It is rise in your own life to be able to recognize and acknowledge the key thresholds, to take your time, to feel all the varieties of presence that accrue there, to listen inward with complete attention until you hear the inner voice calling you forward. The time has come to cross. To acknowledge and cross a new threshold is always a challenge. It demands courage and also a sense of trust in whatever is emerging. This becomes essential when a threshold opens suddenly in front of you, one for which you had no preparation. This could be illness, suffering, or loss. Because we are so engaged with the world, we usually forget how fragile life can be and how vulnerable we always are. It takes only a couple of seconds for a life to change irreversibly. Suddenly you stand on completely strange ground, and a new course of life has to be embraced. Especially at such times, we desperately need blessing and protection. You look back at the life you have lived up to a few hours before, and it suddenly seems so far away. Think for a moment how across the world someone's life has just changed, irrevocably, permanently, and not necessarily for the better. And everything that once was so steady, so reliable, must now find a new way of unfolding. Must now find a new way of unfolding. What the teachers want to offer is always again reminding us that we're divine spirits, that we are not only the spectators, but the creators of our life, and to remind us of that so that we have power in those times of distress and stress. And so they offer a few things here. Some of this you may have heard in previous lessons. We must not regard the body as an atomistic mechanism, but rather as the vehicle of a comprehensive vital energy. We're a cosmos. We're a cosmos. And as the photo I posted this morning says, you see the tree rooted strongly in the land, which our physical body is strongly implanted in our life, bearing the wind of the storm and awaiting the light from the lighthouse as it ponders. Just stands tall. That's what there was to do, and that's what there is to do in these times. Teachers want us to recall the body ceases to be merely matter and is conceived as being animated. We must release our dependency on the old paradigm structure and the illusion of an authority that's outside ourselves. Human evolution. It's the progression of human consciousness from I, me, as physical body, subject to and diminished by the impact of external factors. We are to be in connection with the emotional state we are in. Whenever we are not in love with the outcome of experiences in our life, we have this choice to make. What type of energy do we choose in order to maintain our balance in every aspect of our being? Do we choose the loving and caring energy with the gentleness and kindness towards ourselves? Or do we take the fear-filled road, the one who is bringing us out of balance, creating more negativity within our way and the way we perceive ourselves? Every bump in the road, so to speak, is an opportunity to choose. As life presents itself to us, we need to realize we are the creators as well as the creation. In order to meet the needs through our experiences, we learn to make the choices that will enable us to grow and expand. Whenever we ignore a signal we are presented with, even the very subtle ones, there is reaction on every action we take. Most likely it presents itself as a negative emotion, which will have its input on your body as well. Not to forget your heart and your love flow. We tend to get stuck, causing blockages within our body, our mind, our heart. In the holistic vision, we cannot separate them. Every stuck or blocked emotion will create an imbalance within our cells and our organs. Even in the smallest atoms, it will have an impact. And it has that impact because we are energy beings. We are energy beings. And we are impacted by the energy, and we multiply it. We multiply it when we resist the truth of the energy of the event that's impacting us. And many of us, some may consider themselves more mental people, the overthinkers. Some may consider themselves the emotional people, the criers. Some people may just actually see themselves as going numb when anything occurs to them or in their life that they can't handle. But Spirit wants you to be an awakened self, attuned to your energy, and attuned to the energy of your soul's direction, so it can support you, it can lift you up. It's saying to us, teachers are saying to us, we're being asked now, and especially with the conditions, the impact of this pandemic for one of many things that are impacting us, we're being asked to develop new sets of adaptive traits, realizing we are in a new energetic terrain. And if you haven't wakened up so far, wake up now. Losing yourself inside these transitions, not directing the impact so that it's aligned with your intentions, the fulfillment of your purpose, makes you a victim. You're subjugating your sacred self to circumstances instead of offering up, seeking the help that's powerful and available out in this cosmos from guides and teachers that are obviously every time and every day and every moment the divine. You're subjugating your sacred self instead of transforming or transmuting the experience. There is a body dialogue, and the teachers want you to know this body dialogue is between, it's kind of like the three legs of a stool. There's the emotionality of it, feeling and speaking from the heart. There's the physicality of it, as just mentioned. It it can play war on your body, but your body also is the vector to wake you up. It's like the alarm clock to say, aha, something to deal with. And then there's the mental process and allowing it to be directed by soul energy. You can't think pain through, folks. You can't think pain through. You're an energy being. And when your heart is impacted, when there's physical suffering, to think it through, to shift to only one of your bodies, to maintain some status quo, grabbing some status quo, which is exactly what the transition is intending to upset. That resistance to the change that's imminent creates physical suffering. Physical suffering is the side effect of internal contradictions. Simultaneously, we have to access all of these bodies. Simultaneously, we operate together. They operate together. They are us. All of these to be directed by the soul. What is there to do? One, be thoroughly present. Be thoroughly present. Not in denial. Not in denial. Be thoroughly present to the what's so of what happened. What happened? And where do I go next with it? And then absolutely immediately locate any resistance to the process to maintain some calm, some demeanor, but also to reduce the physical suffering that occurs when you resist the process. Begin to dissipate the grip of it by deep breaths, deep breathing. Now include and be present to your body. Your mind sees and assess, your body's reflecting the pain, it woke you up, and your heart is now evaluating the impact. Not your head, your heart is now is looking at the impact. And then forward the message to your mind to correlate thoughts that speak your intention to let go, to let go, to let go, to release any judgments, any negative thought, any resistance, any blame. Release. And then your energy coming from your heart must match the energy in the strength of your intention. They must be equal. Match the energy of your emotion to your intention for resolution. And in your mind's eye, use color. Use color. Right now, this is bright orange and bigger than me. And then intentionally with your mind's eye, begin to reduce the size of it, the tone of it. Bring it down. The basis for this lesson is for you to know and acknowledge the necessity of integration between body, mind, heart, directed by soul, to create meaning inside of this change that will forward you, that will be an opening to the rest of your life and not a shutdown. Please, folks, don't go to a corner of a room and face the wall and think it's going to go away. You forfeit the opportunity. You can't wait it through. You can't think it through. You've got to allow it to process, but at your direction. To restore power, before power can be actualized in your body, the return of it, the experience of it, there must be mindful, conscious consideration. Mindful, conscious consideration. Otherwise, you'll be gripped by the personality, the smallness, the little me. You'll exhaust yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. The misdirected energy in a poorly designed construct from narrow focus and application will hurt you, will hurt you. We're not in love with some of the outcomes of our experiences, but there is an opportunity, and the lesson is to train yourself in a protocol that works for you so that there's a release of all the energy you need to bring some resolution, that your emotions are valued and respected and expressed, that no decision is made as you deal with the impact. It's not time, it's inappropriate. No decisions. Mind out. Mindful consciousness, please stay. Mind out. And now, as you're in this mindful consciousness, and again, this doesn't matter what the break is. This could be of a moment's notice, realizing that the job you thought well done was not well done, and some satisfaction was pulled from you. This could be the end of a marriage. This can be the death of a loved one. This can be the loss of a dream. This can be loss of resources. It doesn't matter what the change is. It's impacting you, and it's just as important because of its impact on you, no matter what the terms or the basis are. But you begin as you sit in this place, consciously awake and present, aware, to shift strategies. Begin to shift strategies, ways of being with it, altering your point of view, creating a powerful context for it, as in, how is this a lesson? How can I use this? Now what's next? Not poor me. How? How? What's next? And use a ritual. Create a ritual for yourself as you're getting your balance back. It could be just sitting down with a cup of tea and in a short prayer to your guides and your teachers. It could be getting on the phone and sharing this experience with that really, really, really best friend who doesn't judge and doesn't offer advice, but can listen. The shared experience diminishes the impact of the energy on you. You're actually dissipating the energy of the impact when you share it. And sending the incident away from you. Sending the incident away from you. You can actually physically consider yourself putting it in a basket or a chest and sending it away with, I'm not done with you yet, but you're done with me. I'm not done with you yet, but you're done with me. And send it away with a blessing, knowing that, again, as the creator, there is something here. There's some opening here. There's some possibility here. If you value it, if you value it. Transition, change, transition and change. So respect yourselves, honor yourselves, trust your body as it shows you that there's something up that must be dealt with. Move into action and test it. The thermometer is your heart and then your emotions after your body wakes you up. The next step is to keep your mind at play. Keep your mind at play and out of this scene. Again, you cannot think through pain, folks. You can't think it through. Thoughts muddle. The mind is intended to manage the status quo and 3D life. It's not your future. It's not what you look up to. It's quick tips. It's not healing. That's your heart. That's your heart. So allow your emotions to be at free play. Allow them to be expressed. Allow them to tell you the truth about what's so when this transition occurs for you. And allow it then to have a blessing that it's in your life for whatever it matters. Now, this is obviously not grief counseling. This is not about dealing with the death of a loved one or a child or even your favorite pet. This is not about that, but it can be the beginning to have some grasp of yourself as you deal with it, as you do what's necessary and all the business at hand to resolve the business of that change. Honor yourself as a spiritual being with divine authority. Nothing is bigger than you. There's no one thing or action or incident in your life that can't be transmitted and transformed by your intention. By your intention. So what I want to do is we're going to have a song here from Ronnie, and then we'll have a closing prayer.
Zach Williams. It's a revival and it's spreading like a wildfire in my heart. Sunday morning, hallelujah, and it's lasting all week long. Can you hear it? Can you feel it? It's the rhythm of a gospel song. Once you choose it, you can't lose it. There ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. I got an old church choir singing in my soul. I got sweet salvation and it's beautiful. I got a heart overflowing 'cause I've been restored. Well, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. No, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. When the valleys that I wander turn to mountains that I can't climb, you are with me, never leave me. There ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. I got an old church choir singing in my soul. Sweet salvation and it's beautiful. I got a heart overflowing 'cause I've been restored. Well, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. No, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. Clap your hands and stomp your feet till you feel that gospel beat. All you'll ever need, that's all you'll ever need. Clap your hands and stomp your feet till you feel that gospel beat, 'cause that's all you'll ever need. All you'll ever need. I got an old church choir singing in my soul. Sweet salvation and it's beautiful. I got a heart overflowing and I've been restored. Well, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. No, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. No, there ain't nothing gonna steal my joy. Nothing gonna steal my joy. Happy Sunday.
Thanks, Ronnie. Closing prayer. Now is the time to free the heart. Let all intentions and worries stop. Free the joy inside the self. Awaken to the wonder of your life. Open your eyes and see the friends whose hearts recognize your face as kin. Those whose kindness, watchful and near, encourages you to live everything here. See the gifts the years have given, things your effort could never earn. The health to enjoy who you want to be, and the mind to mirror the mystery. Amen. I want to thank you for being with us today. I appreciate your listening. This is a sacred journey of life, spiritual center and healing order. My name is Michelle Saling. I'm the spiritual director, and I invite you to contact us by private message, by phone, by email, to take advantage of the one-day mini retreats if this is something that you think would reboot you, restart you, especially given this year and before the start of next year. I also request donations that benefit our outreach and development to Sacred Journey of Life 2020 at gmail.com. And I also request that you subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel. Our goal is to get to 100 folks so that we can have some facility, some flexibility in dealing with the next things we have to deal with on YouTube. Okay? So I want you to have a great day, please. No football today. Hey. But Tuesday night. So anyway, have a great weekend. I love you. Namaste.